for the Reign on this map. But this is a bit of a King of the Hill format here. We're looking for first three, as you said, and we're going to be getting into the thick of things here in just a moment as the countdown begins. And
Now,
we're not really seeing, at least right out the gates, we're not seeing anything different here, a mirror match.
no, with control, it's so important to get the first kill to win the first fight, because once you have control of the points, then you're able to camp hallways, and this is a very difficult stage to really get through on here, because it's so tightly packed. You're just kind of running your head into an anvil there.
Looking for somebody to smash against the wall. Name of the game here. Textbook stuff coming out right now from Erster on this fist. Nice flank coming in from SBB, putting a little bit of pressure here on Erster. Can't let him get too comfortable. SBB does not want to fall on his side, though, so he is going to get topped up. He will get some support from Jonak and the New York Excel. As far as the first skirmish is concerned, still fairly even on both of these teams. Dogman, though, he's nearly got the Coalescence, and that could just open this wide. Erster finds a kill on Animo, a man advantage for Atlanta Reign, and Dogman doesn't even wait. Smashes Coalescence immediately. They want to lock down this fight for Atlanta.
That's how a lot of these controls start. Whichever team gets first Coalescence is usually able to win the fight, but it's not completely decisive. NYXL could come back in with a Coalescence of their own here. First control given over to Atlanta early on. I like this positioning from Baby. He's just hiding in the corner, waiting for someone to drop down.
Yep, exactly, and then just blast him in the face. He gets stunned, though, so he's going to have to back off and take advantage of some of these shields, some of these barriers that his team is putting up for him. And Libero snipes him. Fist right through the Reaper, and it's just Libero on a tear. He's going to go ham. SBB and Libero cleaning house right now. New York Excel take the point back immediately. And this is, again, a redemption story here for New York Excel. Not only the fact that they're going deeper into the playoffs, last year was a bit of a disaster for them. This time around, we're going to see New York actually perhaps live up to the hype that we were hoping for from last year, and as well this year being a top 3 team. But then they also have to get Atlanta Reign down. They have to beat Atlanta Reign. They've lost to them twice.
Huge
so this
loss.
is it.
Barrier went down, but Masa falls shortly after. The Supercharger also down here for NYXL. And Atlanta's in trouble.
Yeah, they're struggling on this one, but they're just closed out at the door. We're going to get the Flux on the line here for Gator, and we will have the bongos as well for Popo. So some ults are going to come online here for Atlanta Reign. It's still early days on the point. We're just now going to see New York Excel take the lead, 34%. And now it's on New York Excel to lock it down. They've got both of their support ultimates, though, Hex, so that could make a big difference here.
And there's only 2 ways in here, so New York is just running rotations, trying to camp doorways.
Yeah. Jonak opens up the show. They want to destroy them, and they will. New York Excel running right on through, even going so far as to throw the Blossom in there. SBB not holding back on this fight. New York Excel just obliterated Atlanta Reign, but Atlanta died so quick, they've still got their 3 ults online here.
Yeah, Atlanta was unable to use ults there, but it's actually fine. They still are really lacking in the support ultimate scenario here, and that's an issue because Meko is nearing Graviton Flux, and to counter that, you almost always want beat. Animo holding his own beat, 70% here. Supercharger down, Flux is down as well.
But Libero! Double for Libero. Meko's a goner, and this is still Baby Bay trying to make the difference. 2 kills for Baby Bay, bringing it back. Bit of more of an even fight here, and New York Excel caught on the back foot. Libero doing the best he can right now to stay alive in this fight. He's getting great support. Somehow he lives through it. For now, he's still in this. Unreal. 90% and counting here for New York Excel, but it looks like the Atlanta Reign, are they going to get the flip? They will.
NYXL wants to come right back into this now. They've got 4 on the point. The supports are coming back into the fight, still even.
Whoa, Erster. Thought he would get a little bit more there out of the Meteor Strike. Decided to go big, and he gets picked immediately. And New York Excel, they're fighting back in this. They have not given up. They are still trying to flip this point as fast as possible. Jonak has decided now's the time to coalesce. Mono going to get overwhelmed, though. Popo literally beating him to death. And Popo with a double, so Atlanta Reign are going to stabilize on the point.
It's time to reset here for NYXL. Maybe you would have liked that Coalescence back, but it's one of those ultimates that you must always use when you have it. NYXL sitting at 92% on the board, puts them in a single fight territory to take this first round of Busan. Not going to have a lot to work with. Maybe a Supercharger starts it up. New York is gaining entry lower ground, though. Supercharger does go down immediately for this fight.
Yeah, sound barrier is there, though, so they are going to be a bit beefier on the side of Atlanta Reign. Sound barrier and Coalescence getting thrown into this fight to kick things off, and Mono not really getting too much of the value. Dogman eventually just beams down the bongos. He's not interested in hearing the music. Nice snipe there from Gator. And into the Flux we go. Is there any kind of support here to help out? It's not looking like it. Meko going to get picked here. The first one to go down for the New York Excel in this fight, and Animo commits the sound barrier. Do the Atlanta Reign have the throughput, though? It looks like it, because the bongos are there. The New York Excel have to back off, or they risk taking too much damage.
Not over just yet. Another Coalescence comes out for Jonak, but all the kills going inside of Atlanta Reign. Baby Bay gets himself a couple in the spin to win Death Blossom. It looks like this one should be cleaned up for Atlanta.
Man, despite the heroics from Libero, it is looking like Atlanta Reign will take the first point in this series. 1-0 lead for them on Busan.
And I just took a glance at the stats here. Libero in 1.10 final blows, Hex.
He was
The
doing
man
his
is a
best.
monster.
But the nice thing is that Atlanta adjusted to it. You saw Gator stop just chucking in accretions, just hucking rocks at the team, and saving them for when Libero came in, because towards the end of that round, Libero would be jumping in and just getting rocked in the face, stunned, and that's part of the process you see in this meta, because your Doomfist goes in, and then he doesn't get anything, he tries to jump out, but do you have the punish capability for when that Doomfist comes in? And Gator figured it out. So we will go to round 2 here of Busan, going to the Shrine, see if either of these teams wants to run anything a little bit out of the ordinary. Seems like we will have a mirror match yet again. This one down to execution.
Who's going to have the nerves here? First map of the series. Still in the winner bracket. You're not out of the run here in the playoffs if you lose this map, but you definitely want to be staying in that top bracket. Libero under a little bit of pressure, but he is able to navigate his way back to safety. His teammates will be there, and Baby Bay's the one to go down first here. New York Excel, once again, coming out swinging. SBB, kill of his own, and that's the damage down here for Atlanta Reign. It's just a matter of time now before the rest of the team gets overwhelmed, and New York Excel will pick up the first control.
It's a little bit different style of New York in this meta, because they used to be considered a very passive team, waiting for a team to make mistakes, letting Jonak do the carrying in the back line. But now, with the meta shifting, they can't play that way anymore. You have to dive in. Say Byobi's been a very aggressive Reaper, and he gets out a lot of the time, so New York has changed their entire identity as a team because the meta has shifted, and thus far it has worked out well for them.
Yeah, they're looking very good. It's all about confidence here, and they have their backs to the wall, at least on this first map, but there's a long road ahead in this series. Still, it bodes well to see these teams fighting it so close together, and they are just doing fantastic work.
The early punish onto Erster as he dove in and took the accretion right to the dome. Means that Atlanta has to back up a little bit. New York going to give them space and just retreat to the point here. All New York so far. Death Blossom about to be up. More importantly, Sound Barrier now in line for Animo to counter Gator's Flux.
And Gator, though, he's got that Flux. There it is. Opens it up. Animo with the timing. And in the meantime, New York Excel wreaking havoc in the back line. Masa and Erster gone, but they're not going down without a fight. Atlanta Reign fighting back with the bongos. The boosted damage making the difference. And Baby Bay, you can always count on him. He's always here for Atlanta. Once again, coming up with the kills.
And they ended up using Flux there. Meko gives his life for it. Now it's time to just die on the point of your NYXL. They are losing player after player. It's just Lucio dancing around here, trying to get as much percentage as possible. They can get it up to about 80 here. They're going to be in a single fight situation.
This is big, yeah, and you're right. Great start here for New York Excel on this first point. But now Atlanta Reign, they've got their support ultimates online. Dogman and Jonak can cross the beams here in a moment. Pretty sure Jonak's going to want to use that to open up the fight. And then we have the Sound Barrier to counter out, well, anything he wants, really, because Meko doesn't have a Flux.
I mean, Supercharger, colloquially referred to as Bongos, one of the better ultimates in this meta right now. It is kind of a win more ultimate. You drop it down, the other team either has to retreat or fire into you, and everybody is doing so much more damage because everyone's kind of clumped up. It's a little bit of a death ball composition, so everybody's getting the effects of it. And speak of that ultimate, Mano drops it right now.
Yep, into the mix we go. Sound Barrier there from Masa. Both of the ults getting used here on the side of Atlanta Reign, and Erster using the Meteor Strike here to reposition. He's going to get up on top of that rooftop and set himself up to try and smash Baby Bay, but it just doesn't happen, and he's got to back off, trying to regroup here with the rest of his team. Still the name of the game. You got to stick together. You need that support because Dogman doesn't have great range on the heels, so you can't get too far away. And it is still Libero trying to dart in, trying to find somebody out of position here, trying to punish. Animo with the Sound Barrier trying to keep the team up, but they don't get a kill out of it, and now things are stabilizing. Gator gonna have the Flux. Does he catch anybody in it? It doesn't look like he managed to snag him, and that would have been perfect without the Sound Barrier to protect anybody on New York.
Now that ultimate not there. Both support ultimates used. Dogman gets a second Coalescence during the fight. Gator's able to take down Libero, and this is really extended. Atlanta's about to take the lead.
Oh man, this is getting out of hand. Finally, one kill for the Blossom. Can you get the trade though, Atlanta? No, Pokepo is gone, and that will be the flip in the favor of New York Excel. 81% on the board for Atlanta Reign, but New York Excel, they're up to 85 hex. One last fight here for Atlanta Reign to try and make some magic happen on this second point of the map.
New York might even actually hold a little bit forward here because they have the flux in their pocket. Poco has to switch off just to get to the hamster so he can get and touch the point. Not an ideal situation. Masa nearing Sound Barrier. Sound Barrier versus Flux is the tail of this next fight. Don't even get there!
Doesn't even get on the point. Popo trying to generate shields, it looks like. Trying to get a little bit beefier. And well, you know when you gotta go to the hamster in this meta, it's not looking good.
It's not great.
It's not a great combo. You don't want to actually have to try and pair up the hamster, even if the hamster's great. Hammond, awesome guy.
You're seeing pretty much 100% just Sigma Orisa.
Yeah, just barriers. Barriers on barriers on barriers, and one of those barriers can come and go at will.
Yeah, which is why you see Doomfist being so valued, because he can punch through barriers, obviously, and also why Coalescence, why Moira's getting about 100% pick rate as well. Because when they drop the Supercharger on the other side of things, the Coalescence can go through that shield where you drop it and get the Supercharger out of the fight. It's destructible.
And we see it get beamed down every now and again.
All right. Last round here on Busan, and New York is going to their old strategy. A Symmetra Bastion on the field. Symmetra's to get Bastion in those goofy spots. Get him set up exactly where they want and be able to go back and forth. Not sure what happened there. He might have got halted off.
Yeah, it looked like he got knocked out somehow, but it's not going to matter. Now you're not going to have a shield to hide behind. You can see just this is the strength of the Bastion. He melts shields. He cranks out damage so fast.
Oh!
Nice stun, though. Gator, oh, he saw it coming too. There's nothing he can do. SBB back to spawn, and Atlanta Reign, despite the tricky strategy used by New York Excel, they come out ahead.
I mean, what do you think's gonna happen? He's set up in that corner against a Lucio like Masa. Like, he gets around here, knows exactly where they're gonna be. It's pretty telegraphed with the teleporter. The halt there, and then the punish into the drink.
That is so sick.
Oh, actually, that's a railway line. Usually they fall into water. That
doesn't even look like that high a fall either. Yeah, you know? I mean, what, they made a broken ankle, but dying? Really, Hex? Dying? I mean, what are these guys made out of? Cardboard? All right. We're in and on it, though. This is fine. And, well, as far as New York are concerned, SBB refuses to say die. SBB making all the difference. 2 kills. Arster managed to bring one, but it's still Seviobi. They finally killed the guy, but he did so much damage in the meantime. Can New York capitalize on this?
He just walks into a coalescing Moira and says, I'm not really worried about it. I'm just going to keep cranking out the damage. Does just that. Desperation time for Atlanta, but they're getting picks.
Ooh, and we got the flip in the meantime. So New York Excel, yeah, they're going to win it right. Whoa! Was that a fat finger, do you think, from Masa to use a sound barrier there in that situation? I think that fight was won for Atlanta.
It's hard to tell in these situations, but Moss is going to get himself another kill. You would really love to have that sound barrier. Again, it's so important. Think about to the previous metas. You had to have Transcendence if the other team had Graviton, because that's the only way to live through it. One of the only ways to ensure you're going to live through the Graviton Flux, getting launched into the sky and dropped to your doom, is with that sound barrier.
Yeah, that's a real rough one there for Masa. I'm honestly wondering, but whatever, we're going to get into it. We can explain terms later, because right now it's New York Excel just going on a rampage. They're running right through Atlanta. Okay, so when we say fat finger, that's one of those terms, right, where you didn't mean to hit the key, but your finger just happens to hit it, and you don't know why. Maybe nerves, you tense, whatever happened there. It's a mistake, and you wish you had it back. But that's a tough one, because now New York Excel, they get the flip. This time they're going to keep it.
I just love that you work in an industry where we have to explain what fat finger means.
I mean, do we have to really, though? I mean, it's been around forever.
It is the term. When your hand's on the keyboard, you accidentally hit the wrong thing. Here's the grav. Or the flux, rather.
Oh, Libero. They're doing so great working together, but there it is. Bongo's down now. Damage boost is online, but you've already lost 2 on the side of Atlanta.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and there's the boss. There's a Blossom possibility, but nope, stun, instant reaction there from Gator. Not going to let SBB work his way in. Still, I mean, SBB, that's a one fight. You really want to throw a Blossom in there? I don't think so. Now you're holding on to it for this next one, and it's going to be gravy here for New York. There are no support ultimates online.
Let's see if he teleports into this back line here. I've seen a lot of teams do it. Coalescence already out for NYXL as they continue to push back. Sabiobi gets in the back line.
Ooh, and he can't quite get a kill. There it is. Instantly countered out. Just snap punch from Erster, but it wasn't fast enough. The damage is done, and the New York Excel win that fight, and they're about to take the lead on this point. New York Excel still, they got a lot to prove here. They're going against their nemesis.
It's so much sustainability. Reaper getting health from the damage he does. If you think about the last couple of metas, even the damage dealing roles have been heroes who can heal themselves and can sustain their own lives. You see it with Doomfist. When he does damage, he gets shields. Reaper does damage, he gets health. Hard to kill these guys.
Yeah, it was just sustained, pure sustain. Another snipe comes through on a Baby Bay. Meko just connecting rocks once again. And hunting for a target. Baby Bay, he's going deep. He's going to go right into the back line, and he gets booped immediately. What perfect reactions. It might still cost him. Animo dies, but still the New York XL, they're winning the fight. They allowed the point to flip, but they're about to send the Atlanta Reign packing, and they will take the first point, or the first map of this series.
It was a close one, and Atlanta had their moments, but a little bit better usage of ultimates for the NYXL. See if they can touch this time. Hammond unable to get back to the point again.